Welcome to What a Story, where true stories of love, betrayal, and the complex tapestry of human emotions unfold. In this episode, we delve into two deeply personal narratives that challenge our understanding of trust, commitment, and the struggles of the heart. These aren't just tales of infidelity, they're explorations of the intricate dynamics that define our closest relationships. Before starting, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and activate the notification bell. Let's get started. Story 1. Hi, this is Caleb. I'm not much of a writer, but I've got a story that I need to get off my chest, and maybe some of you can help me make sense of it. Sabrina, my wife, and I have been married for 8 years, and we have a little boy, Danny, who just turned 6. We've always been a close-knit family, or so I thought. Last week, something happened that turned my world upside down. I was working late, as I often do, trusting that Sabrina was at home taking care of Danny, like we agreed when we decided she would be a stay-at-home mom. Everything seemed normal until I got home and Danny, in his innocent, childlike manner, told me something that stopped me in my tracks. "Daddy, Mommy had a friend over tonight. He was here after I went to bed." My mind raced. A friend? At that hour? Sabrina had never mentioned anyone visiting, especially not when I wasn't home. I confronted Sabrina about it, trying to keep calm for Danny's sake. Her reaction was a mix of shock and denial, but something in her eyes didn't sit right with me. It felt like she was hiding something, and my gut was screaming that it was something big. Now I'm here, typing this out, feeling like a character in a bad movie. I trust my son, but I want to trust my wife too. I'm torn between disbelief and the creeping suspicion that my family isn't what I thought it was. I need some advice. What would you do in my shoes? Last update. Hey, it's Caleb again. It's been a few months since I first posted about my suspicions regarding Sabrina. Back then, I chose to trust her over the words of our little boy, Danny. He's so young, and I thought maybe he just misunderstood what he saw. But things didn't stop there. Over these months, Danny mentioned seeing Mommy's friend 3 more times. Each time, Sabrina flatly denied it, and I was torn between believing my wife or my son. It's a kind of torment I wouldn't wish on anyone. I finally reached a breaking point. I needed to know the truth, no matter how painful it might be. So, I made the difficult decision to set up a hidden webcam in our living room. I feel terrible about spying on my own wife, but I was out of options. What I saw on that camera broke me. Sabrina wasn't just having a friend over, she was cheating on me, right there in our home, where we built our life together. I was devastated, angry, and felt betrayed beyond words. I confronted Sabrina with the evidence. She couldn't deny it this time, but she still didn't offer any real explanation or apology. It was like she was a different person from the woman I married. I've decided to leave Sabrina. I can't stay in a marriage without trust, without respect. But the hardest part is thinking about Danny. He's my world, and I can't bear the thought of not being there for him every day. I'm reaching out to you because I'm lost. I need advice on how to handle custody, how to protect my son, and how to move forward from a betrayal like this. How do you rebuild your life and ensure your child doesn't get caught in the crossfire of a broken marriage? Any guidance would be greatly appreciated. Wow, Caleb's story really hits hard, doesn't it? It's a stark reminder of how trust, once broken, can change everything we thought we knew about our loved ones. Caleb's journey from trust to betrayal, and finally to the difficult decision of moving on, is a tough one. It raises so many questions about what we would do in his shoes. How would you handle such a situation? Have you ever been in a similar predicament? Feel free to share your thoughts and advice for Caleb in the comments below. Your experiences and insights could really help someone going through the same thing. Coming up next, we have another gripping story, one that speaks to the confusion, pain, and resilience of the human heart. It's a tale of love, betrayal, and the struggle to find closure. Stay tuned, and let's find out how one man navigates these turbulent emotional waters. Story 2. Therefore, my wife, 23, and I, 26, have been dating for 3 years. When we first met, we both fell deeply in love with one another. Shortly after I proposed to her, we moved in together right away. April of this year marked our official wedding. Our marriage has now lasted for about 7 months. I can honestly say that the wedding was the happiest day of my life. It was an amazing occasion. I learned that she had been communicating with a man she met online about 4 months ago. He had taken her out on a date. I accepted her apology after she told me the truth. When I questioned her about why she had done it, she explained that she thought our marriage had lost its spark and that I wasn't providing for her needs. I hope things will get better for her, so I forgave her. Things were never the same after that. Our disagreements were nearly constant, and we occasionally slept apart. She would always bring up our divorce and complain that I wasn't a man enough to care for her or support her. I gave it everything I had. We ultimately decided to take a quick weekend trip away in an attempt to reignite our romance. I found out that she was still seeing the same guy 2 weeks after our trip. Once more, I extended my forgiveness to her. I made an effort to provide her with all she required, materially, emotionally, and financially. Once more, it appeared that everything was returning to normal. The arguments resumed a month later. Naturally, I was the one who always tried to find a solution and make things better because she would pick fights over the most insignificant things. At this point, she stopped having intimate relationships with me for a full 2 months. Now, fast forward to this past week, we have been having arguments like never before. She concluded that divorce was our only remaining option. I expressed to her my desire for a non-divorce. I yearned for our union and our shared life. We made up again 2 days ago. We made the decision to stick together. With all of my faith and love for her, as usual, I didn't give our marriage a second thought. Now fast forward to yesterday, we had a major altercation. I told her I deserved better and that she was being a bad wife. In the end, she told me that she wants to dissolve our marriage and see other people, and she is on several dating sites. After she said that, I wasn't sure what to say to her. I left the house to give myself time to gather my thoughts after being hurt. After a while, she texted me to tell me that she was going to start seeing other men, that our marriage was over, and that she would be filing for divorce. She showed no concern whatsoever for my emotions. I made an effort to convey to her that even though she had emotionally checked out of our relationship for however long, I still loved her and that it wouldn't be right for her to begin dating other men while we were still married and living together. She had left by the time I returned home. She essentially told me in a letter that she hopes our friendship can endure despite everything, but that she is going to begin living her life anew. She had blocked me on everything when I tried to text and call her. She returned home after midnight. She went straight to bed when I tried to talk to her because she didn't want to talk to me. I knew deep down that she had been seeing someone else. I took her computer and read through her messages in the hopes of finding closure and answers. All of her text messages end up on her computer because her phone and computer are synchronized. After much investigation, I discovered the most horrifying thing I could have possibly discovered. She had slept with a man she had met on a dating app the day before. They had never met before. Although she didn't want to sleep with him, she had texted her best friend to let her know that she thought they had a good chemistry. This guy seems to be tall, wealthy, and extremely attractive. She also disclosed to her friend that this is the first time she has ever had sex outside of our relationship and that it has happened in the last 2 months. She said it was thrilling, she didn't regret it, and she would definitely do it again. This is where I am at now. I'm in total disarray. I've been crying uncontrollably for hours on end and asking myself every question I can think of, not feeling like I could breathe. How could the woman I adore and hold in such high regard be able to treat me like this? How did we arrive at this moment? Am I lacking something? Who is this person that I married and believed I knew? When did she stop loving me, and what happened to our marriage? What had I done that she didn't think was good enough? In addition, I can't stop thinking about her giving herself over to someone else, and it's killing me. I never imagined that the person I thought was my soulmate would treat me in this way. I am aware that our marriage is over and that I will never be able to forgive her. I also acknowledge that I will never be able to change who she has become. Above everything, I still adore her. Even now, I long for the days gone by. I wish she had put more effort into strengthening our marriage and concentrating on us. I'm aware that the road to recovery and putting the broken pieces back together will be lengthy. I'm not going to be able to move past this for a very long time. Even though I'm not entirely prepared for the journey ahead, I know I must make an effort to move on from her. We haven't spoken since she left, and everything is still so new. I'm going to give myself some space to gather my thoughts, to collect my feelings and ideas before attempting to speak with her once more. Whether it's worth confronting her about sleeping with this random guy she met is still up in the air. Update 1. My lawyer and I are supposed to meet this coming Monday. I also informed friends and family about what had happened. I've erased every photo from my phone and social media accounts. I had no idea what 180 and gray rock meant until today. I'm going to use it after doing some research. To be honest, there were warning signs, but I decided to ignore them. At the end of the day, I'm to blame. I never could let go of this relationship, even though it should have ended a long time ago. I'm going to resume the activities I enjoyed prior to meeting her. In my early 20s, I was a bodybuilder. Since it made her feel insecure, I overlooked that for her. I'm overweight and out of shape right now. I sold the car of my dreams because I didn't think it was safe. I have lost friends as a result of her disapproval of my socializing. In the midst of everything, I pretty much forgot who I am and lost myself. I neglected my own needs, focusing entirely on her and making sure our relationship worked. Large-scale lesson. Update 2. I think I'm finally emerging from the never-ending cycle my wife and I have been in. I listened to and heard many of what you guys had to say about how you didn't value yourself enough to not accept the way things were. I stopped being the pick-me person in our relationship for the first time. I stopped trying to comprehend or forgive her, and I stopped caving into her demands. I emotionally distanced myself from her after that night, when she expressed her wish to dissolve our marriage and ended up having sex with a stranger she met on a dating app. She has lost everything that I once saw in her. The woman I held in high regard has vacated that position. She has begged me to try to keep our union together. She has been trying so hard to convince me that things would get better for the past 2 days. She even tried to woo me sexually by showing off her assets all over the house. That really made me want to pull away even more. She remains unaware that I am aware that she had slept with him. She is unaware of anything but my disinterest in her and our union. I can honestly say that this is the first time I've ever felt this way, and I mean everything I say when I say I don't want to make amends with my wife. She has never fought for me before, until now. However, I feel as though I'm dead, the harm is done, and I should go on with my life. It was only after I completely withdrew that she became concerned. She probably never imagined that she would lose me. How could she when I've always supported and pardoned her? It was said to be her final opportunity for reconciliation when we last spoke. She finally accused me of abandoning our marriage and of not loving her after I refused to give in for days. It seems that I don't care about her enough to try to make things right between us. She told me that she doesn't want to lose me and that she still sees a future for us. I told her that I would no longer be giving her opportunities. She blamed me for not loving her enough to stay, but she didn't address the reasons behind my feelings. I'm the one that broke her heart, so I'm the bad guy now. It was me who turned away from her. Her story is that her spouse is divorcing her because he doesn't love her after she didn't get what she wanted and my response wasn't what she was used to. She is currently the one who is suffering and mourning. She is the victim. She has been crying in her bedroom by herself for the past few days, and she frequently tells me that I'm a bad husband for not being able to comfort her while I watch her cry. To be honest, I'm just worn out. I'm overloving and caring for someone who doesn't treat me with respect. She has lost everything that I once saw in her. It's unfortunate to say that I didn't get to this point until she started seeing someone else physically, but that was a game changer for me. It is no longer difficult to imagine life without her. Does the pain persist? Indeed. However, I'm no longer deceiving myself into believing that we could have a future together. I also want to thank everyone for listening to me and for their advice. Reading all of your posts really helped me to stay calm and made me aware of my mistakes. I have the strength now to break the cycle thanks to you guys. Some of the things I was doing that were ultimately rewarding her for her actions went unnoticed by me. I've decided to go through with the divorce completely because I've discovered that I deserve the respect that I deserve. And that brings us to the end of our second story. It's a heart-wrenching journey, isn't it? The pain of betrayal, the struggle for understanding, and the ultimate realization that sometimes letting go is the only way forward. Both stories today, though uniquely different, share a common thread of heartache and the quest for healing after betrayal. What are your thoughts on this second story? Could you relate to the emotions and decisions faced? And if you were in his shoes, how would you have handled the situation? Your insights and personal experiences are invaluable, and we'd love to hear them in the comments below. That's the end of our episode for today. If you enjoyed these stories and want more, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and activate the notification bell. Stay curious, and we'll see you in the next video.